Welcome to each and every one of you joining us today for our Global Chamber Author Series. Each and every author series that we present every month becomes more and more, I would use the word exciting because it builds on something from before. And many of you are consistent attenders and members. So we want to encourage you to let us know what you enjoy about the author series, what you want to hear in the author series, because it is designed with you in mind. So today, our Global Chamber Author Series is going to be talking about the AI powered authority advantage. Just by show of hands, even in the chat room, how many of you are incorporating AI, artificial intelligence, in your daily business, personal journey? Raise your hand or put up a number one. I like to see how many of you are actually engaging. Because here for our Global Chamber Author Series, we've got the global voices, powerful stories, and lasting impact. So now we want to do is to amplify that with the AI powered authority advantage. So this is how business leaders turn expertise into influence, income, and impact. I am your host and Global Chamber Author Series Director, Dr. Dana Austin. I'm an author, strategist, and authority builder. Yes, I see those numbers in there. Some of you guys are utilizing it. So at our Global Chamber Author Series, we connect, we engage, and we lead. This global platform is for authors. It's a world of opportunity where you can collaborate, share your story, your voice, and your legacy. We do connect. We connect by building meaningful connections with a global network of authors, leaders, and change makers or game changers even. We engage. How do we do that? By sharing your story, exchanging ideas, engaging powerful conversations that inspire action. And we lead. We lead because we elevate with your voice, we expand your impact, and we lead with influence in your industry and beyond. Not infinity and beyond, but industry and beyond. I am Dr. Dana Austin, and I'm happy to be with you today as your host and your director for the Global Chamber Author Series. Yes, I am an author, a best-selling and award-winning author. I'm a writer's coach. My background's in the healthcare arena, so I do clinical as well as research. And I'm here to engage you so that we can move your book, your story, your legacy forward, incorporating AI. And on the writers are my latest book, a transformational writer's journal, helping writers to become authorities. So if you're interested in that, you can find me on Amazon. But as you notice, we are incorporating AI even in our slides. I just love it because if you're not a member of Global Chamber, and you wonder who we are, and you showed up because you were interested in the topic, we are more than the author series, okay? Number one, we are in 705 metros around the world and growing. 705. We have feet on the ground. 195 countries, 5 continents, but we are one global business community. Our mission continues to refine to reflect who we are and the direction that our executive director, Doug Brunke, and our vice president, Cesar Trabanco, are leading us. And we mindfully and intentionally connect, enable, and inspire leaders and organizations anywhere in the world for them to grow their business, influence, impact, happiness, and success. That's our mission. It's very clear, it's succinct, but most of all, it's who we are. Our vision is Global Chamber is creating a world where doing business across region is just as easy as doing business across the street. And many of you on the line have experienced that as a member. And there's so many more advantages, but we do believe in building international relationships, expanding in new markets, discovering opportunities, and connecting with trusting business leaders, accelerate cross-border growth, and learn from expertise. Now, what I generally do is I have more slides to talk about our connection and collaboration with the Thunderbird School of Global and International Management. But I will say that we are headquartered there in Arizona. And also, we have a collaboration with them. So we have 30 more uh, connections as a result of them. So you would say 735 metros and beyond. Yes. So today I'm the guest speaker. Last month, we had a panel of 3 women, and we alternate every other month with panel and then guest authors to speak. So next month, I just want to remind you, while we generally meet at 11 a.m. Eastern Time every third Wednesday, next month we're going to meet the third Wednesday at 8 p.m. because what we love to do is to involve live interaction with our members. And in this case, it will be Beyond the Pond. So beyond the pond, we were trying to get those that are in uh, Western Europe, Asia, so they can be on live. So be sure to mark your calendars for 8 p.m. next month. And so today we're going to talk about how you as a business leader can turn your expertise in influence, income, and impact. If you're interested in and excited about today's topic, type the number 7 in the chat for me. This is how we are engaging. So that means you have opportunity to ask questions, to put information in there, share your link, who you are, how people can connect and follow you. Let's engage. Let's be intentional about that because our slides today, we're going to move through them rapidly because it's a big overview, but then you also have an opportunity to expound if you want to go further about AI authority and our accelerator. Sounds good? All right, I'm checking the chat because I want to make sure there's engagement taking place and I'm not missing it. So if you want to hear more, type the number 7 in the chat. I see you. You use ChatGPT and Claude, but you don't rely on them entirely. Okay, awesome. And let's see who else said something here. I want to be sure that I'm connecting with you as you are engaging as well. I see you, Cassandra. I see you, Peter. Pauline, yes. Okay, definitely. So I see some of you are already utilizing ChatGPT. Some of you are utilizing Claude. Today's session is not designed to go through all of the AIs. There's other opportunities for that. And we'll talk about that. But today is to give you a big overview so that you can turn those AI authorities into influencing generated income and impact. All right, I see ya. Here we go. So here's my opening question, which begs an answer. I have answers up there, but you can definitely type it in the chat as well. What happens when the world's best expert stays invisible? Now, I want you to put your name in the section that says best expert. What happens when Honore Ndongoji stays invisible? What happens when Erica Flowers stays invisible? What happens when Will Ander, Cassandra Ayala, Dr. Pauline Crawford, you are your experts. What happens when you stay invisible? Because your expertise is no longer enough. You have the authority in the areas that you do what you do well and exceptionally even. But if nobody sees you, then it doesn't matter. So you miss out on opportunities, they pass you by. Your revenue goes somewhere else. You want it to stay where you are and to multiply. Your competitors become recognized more because as the authority, because they're not only showing up, but they're integrating artificial intelligence. And then the market assumes that the most visible expert is the most qualified, even when they're not. I will share this story with you that I somehow got pulled into TikTok, and it's almost out of nowhere. You keep getting bombarded with information and they're showing up as the expert, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they are, but they're utilizing social media, they're utilizing AI to put them front and center. They're automating a lot of things. So what happens when the world best experts like yourselves stay invisible, or you're not showing up as often as you can in the circles that you need to be in? Then you miss out on opportunities, and your expertise is not dimmed because you know what you know and you can apply it well, but it's not most viewed. So you might not show up as the expert that you are. So let's talk about the new currency of business. So, what is the new currency of business? Visibility. They got to see you, they got to hear from you, right? Credibility. They got to know that you know that you know that you know. And they have to know that you are the authoritarian on your subject matter and you're continuing to learn and to expand and to grow. But most of all, they have to trust you. They have to trust that you're going to do what you said you're going to do, that you deliver on time. They know that you are the thought leader in your field. This is the currency of business. This is the new currency. Any comments or
Mm.
question? Because I know that this is going to generate a lot of ideas and conversation. So this is where the engagement continues. If you've got a comment or short story that you would like to share at this moment, let's do that. Kind of make it 60 seconds or less if you're going to do that, or a question about the new currency of business and about what happens when you stay invisible. And this is not the time to be invisible because this is why we're yeah. You got a comment or question, Erica?
No, not at this time, Dr. Dana.
Okay. So Peter says, I'm working with manuscripts as my publishers to publish my book on global trade called Broken Bridges this late fall. I am a T-bird. Yes, we welcome our T-birds, especially. And what is the difference between a thought leader and an expert, in your opinion? Um, a thought leader and an expert, when you put the word difference, it makes it seem like there is going to be a significant difference. So let me just give you an example. I do believe they kind of cross-pollinate in how they show up. So someone who I use myself a lot because it's just easy to pull those examples, but I'm happy to hear from others. So let me just share this with you. All right. So if you can see this, this book made me bestseller award-winning author. Tea with Streams, vignettes, culture, custom, and recipes. So being a thought leader, I may be on a board. There was a tea board in the United States at some point. I may be on the board for the Tea Expo, and I can contribute as a thought leader um, running a business for tea. And an expert is, I've also trained as a tea consultant. I've taken the multiple levels. I've owned a tea shop. I've hosted events. So now I'm more than just a leader, a thought leader. I'm truly an expert on this because of the training, the knowledge, the skills, and so forth, in my opinion. And if someone else has some other thoughts around the difference between thought leader and experts, we certainly welcome that. I don't really want to put people on the spot because I know other people that can elaborate on that well, if not better. So the mic is open.
Can I say something? Good morning.
I was going to ask
From
you.
Good morning from the Pacific coastline. It's early here.
Good
Um,
morning.
I think you're right about the difference between thought leader and expert. So expert is more based around your knowledge. You know, what do you actually know? Whereas thought leader is more about your mission. So my expertise is around how people relate to each other. My gender dynamics intelligence is my expertise, but
Mm,
my thought leadership is around building a designed world of harmony between men and women. And that mission affects everybody. But what I did do, I want to suggest to everybody, is go into Google and type in who is, and then put your name. So I did that
mm.
yesterday. Who is Dr. Pauline Crawford? And it's fascinating what AI gives you. It's very rewarding. Have you done that lately, everybody?
I
No.
like that. Give that a go. Who is going to Google? And since we're also, thank you, Dr. Pauline Crawford, since we're also talking about AI, more importantly, go into AI and do it. Because if you're
Yes.
utilizing Chat GPT, as someone has mentioned earlier, I think it was Peter,
Hmm.
then you've also created a pattern because Chat
Yes.
GPT is a large language model, right? And the
Oh,
way,
yes, I do that as well. But it's
mm-hmm,
really interesting because if you put in who is and then your name,
mm-hmm,
you'll Google is looking across the whole piece. So it shows you immediately how much you're seen. You can also put who am I, who name, and then your company, but you don't need to put the company. But it's really interesting what it brings up because it's referencing LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, everything,
yes.
and it gives you a quick summary.
You're going to make us try that live, I can see. Let's just go ahead and do it. I'm going to stop sharing this screen
I'm
and you
glad to
just,
know that I show up as a Catholic priest. That's good.
ah! Now, Now, who is that? That's our Catholic priest.
Yeah. Well, my being the author of the book shows up, so that's good. But I'm also a Catholic priest.
Nice. Lovely, Peter. I'm almost afraid because you just don't know what's going to come up, but I'm going to share my screen and do it. And who else? Who are you showing up? Those of you who have done it so far, if you care to share. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll save that for the last because we've got quite a bit to cover, but I certainly welcome your input and thank you, Dr. Pauline, for kind of guiding us to greater clarity on the expert and thought leader, one more being knowledge centric and the other is more mission centric. Thank you for that.
Yes.
All right, we're going to hop back into our slides and then we're going to do the activity at the end if we have ample time. Okay, thank you. Just trying to get my Zoom to work with me again. Here we go. If you know me and you know me well, you know I'm extremely more energetic around this topic, if you can't tell. I am. And I'm trying to get our slides back up. There we go. All right, are you able to see the slides again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're just going to hop back on where we're talking about the currency of business now being visibility, credibility, authority, trust, thought leadership. We outlined the difference and had some discussion around expertise and thought leaders. And I think we're clear on that. So why does authority matter? Authority matters. And I focus on the word author in authority because when you have a written book, it also gives you greater credibility. But authority matters because when you show up as a thought leader or expertise, you also garner opportunities for speaking engagements. And we were talking about how AI authority and advantage gives you opportunity for greater impact, income. So speaking engagements, media opportunities, board appointments, and consulting contracts. So if you've overlooked any of these and you are the expert in your field, you are the thought leader in your community, consider speaking engagement, media opportunities, board appointments, and consulting contracts. There is the authority gap. The gap is not expertise. The gap is in the packaging because you are the knowledge, thought leader, expertise in your area. But how are you packaging it so that people recognize you as the authoritarian in that area? I am the owner of Transformational Writers Academy. We are very mindful of our mission, our vision, our brand, and how we show up. So you have to package and then be consistent. Consistent how you show up, be consistent how you market, be consistent how you're continuing to grow and meet the needs of your clients and potential clients. So the gap is the packaging. We must be mindful how you're packaging your product. You are your product. Your business is your product. Your parishioners, okay? If you're a priest, how you're showing up and availing yourself. Now, here's the authority triangle. Now, here's the funny thing about this one. I had the hardest time making this into a triangle. I think I spent 20 minutes. I thought I give up. I'll just put a triangle in the middle. But the authority triangle is your influence, your authorship, and then your AI amplification. So your influence, your authorship as an author or a co-author, and your AI amplification. And what does that give you? Authority.
Authority.
Yes. What does it give you?
Authority.
Absolutely. Thank you, Erica. So why books still matter? Well, since we are the Global Chamber Author Series, we're talking about books. And they matter because it is a credibility tool. It is a lead generator. It is a legacy document. It is a credibility tool. So in which ways has your book, Elise, showed up as a credibility tool? giving you an opportunity if you want to expound on that. We have other authors on this online as well. If you care to share how your book has showed up as a credibility tool, feel free to answer, or a lead generator, or a legacy document.
I think it takes time, especially if it's your first book, to get known as an authority on a subject matter,
Mm-hmm,
especially in academia. A lot of universities, and I've reached out to a few that have invited me to speak, mainly
yeah,
where I graduated from, not Thunderbird. They
yes.
actually have not been a big help at all, which is very surprising. But in any case, I think that to be a thought leader and an expert, you have to have worked in the field for quite a bit. I've been doing international trade for 40 years,
Mm-hmm,
so that helps a little bit, right? Yeah.
yes.
But I will say, and I'm finding this webinar very interesting, but the whole concept of AI and
Mm-hmm,
using manuscripts, my publisher, they have absolutely forbidden me to use AI, not allowed at all.
mm-hmm.
And I'd like you to expound on that, if you could.
Oh,
Yeah, because
happy to.
they just will not allow
Well,
it.
it depends on the way in which you're utilizing AI.
Hmm.
Because as a writer's coach, when I coach my authorpreneurs, we have a platform that we use called Blooksy, Blooksy. That's our preferred platform for writing. It does have an AI component. If you want the link, I'll put it in the chat as well.
Sure.
Um,
Thank you.
so when I'm coaching them, Peter,
Hmm.
I say AI is a tool, but it's to augment what you're already doing. It is
Hmm.
not to write in your stead. Well, I also coach them to use AI as a igniter if they have a block like I'm having right now. What's the word for a block? Writer's block, right? Or mental block. I suggest that they put in there something to trigger ideas in which to write on, but not to use it to write for you. Now, today we're kind of doing a big high overview of AI, and it's not so much for the writing part, it's to incorporate the marketing piece, efficiency, and so forth. But again, this is the high level. So as far as how we move our entrepreneurs through the use of AI, it's more as to move through as a mental block or to refresh something to give it a different spin, but not use it verbatim. So yes, awesome. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, I'm going to go back to our slide. Any other comments or questions? Did I see any hands that I missed? Great. Thank you. So that's as a credibility tool too. You want to know that this person is writing from a place of research, that they've done the work, and that AI is not doing the work for them. Many people do that. So I am not knocking them. They can do what works for them. I like authenticity. I like using it as a refining tool. I like it as a marketing tool. I like it as a for so many different reasons. But your book again is a lead generator. It opened doors for you. I will say that my book got me two speaking engagements overseas on the River Nile cruise and on the Danube River cruise. Wow. So it opens when they are having an event around tea, and I said, hey, this is what I do. I got to speak, I got to promote, I got to connect. It was a lead generator, and then more opportunities. And then a legacy document. Today on our social media platform, we post 3 times a week. I'm just sharing you, we have a schedule. AI also helps us generate content for our schedule. And so I'm just sharing a little bit more so that you know other ways in which we utilize it. And so for our schedule today, we were talking about legacy for Tea Talk today and which ways you can pass legacy on. So your book is one. And in times past, oral history was a way they passed um,
Mhm.
history and what happened in the past, and books and scrolls and so forth. So create a legacy, pass something on. This is why your book matters. Okay. And what does it really create? It creates, and as Peter was saying, he's been in the international trade business for over 35 or 40 years, I believe he said. And he's built relationships and trust. So when he comes out with this book, if it's geared towards this clientele, he's already built up trust and credibility positioning. And then that create opportunities for him to continue to engage in this audience, generate an revenue, income, impact. So you want to build relationships. And what we coach our entrepreneurs on, even in the process of the 90 days that we're writing, is to engage along the way. Don't just show up when you need something and you ask for something. You have to build a relationship. And to me, it should be mutual. It should be a give and take, not just, a take. That's my opinion, but that's relational and it's not one-sided. So here's where artificial intelligence comes into the picture because it accelerates your expertise, okay, your knowledge. And AI also compresses the learning curve. So if there's new information that you need to know, you can search for it in AI and it'll direct you. So now you're compressing your learning curve, you're getting more information quicker, and it turns your knowledge into content. How does it turn your knowledge into content? Example, we have a content calendar at Transformation Writers Academy. We have it for the whole year. So we're posting 3 times a week. So AI, we have ideas what we want to put in terms of content already, but we also utilize AI to come up to generate ideas for our content for our audience. And it also expands your reach because AI can also be used for marketing purposes and how to more specifically target your audience. If you're on Facebook, that's Manas, okay? You can use that. AI also increases your productivity. I can get more done in a short amount of time utilizing the AI tools. I'm going to pause right here because I believe you may have some comments or questions and at least want to be able to address them so you can get a little bit more meat on the bone or tofu on the salad, whichever it is. Any comments or questions at this moment?
I'll ask one, Dr. Dana.
Yes,
So,
please.
we mentioned ChatGPT or Claude, but there's so many AI platforms out there right now. Which ones do you recommend for helping you write your book?
Sure. I'm going to go number one, Blixie. That's our platform, and it has an AI component. And I'll put our link in there. We have a affiliate link, so I'll put it in the chat shortly. But in the slides here too, Peter, we're going to go over that. So let me see if I can get back to that. There we go. Let's get to it, and we'll expound on it a little bit more once we get to that slide. Here we go. What I notice is when I go to look at who's speaking, it causes a delay for me to get back to my slides, so I apologize. I'm going to share and I'll just have you introduce your name if I can't see your face. All right, just for the sake of continuity. All right, is that all right? Okay, thank you. So there are some myths about AI. There's myths about writing and so forth that we have to let go. So AI amplifies the human brilliance. That's a myth, right? Because AI was built by whom? Humans. And it's a large learning model, and we teach it we teach it to create a pattern. And once it does that, it just remembers. And I just love my AI. The one I'm going to refer to is ChatGPT at this moment. As soon as I log on, I'll say, "Good morning." I call her Chatty. "Good morning, Chatty." And she just opens up, "Good morning, Dr. Dana. It's going to be a beautiful day. You are doing great things in this capacity, and you're making an impact." And I'm telling you, I just feel good to start the day. But I've taught it that. And I want to show you something that I created. You can create a calendar also, and I don't mean just like more like a visual calendar with you in it and images that you can give as a gift, whatever you want to do with it, but it's beautiful. But AI can do what human brilliance cannot. And that's not true. It's doing what it's been trained to do. It cannot replace you. Here's another myth. AI will take over my expertise or my job or my career. It cannot. Now, are companies cutting down in staffing because AI can do some of the things? maybe a little more efficiently and less costly. Yeah, but then you make yourself the expertise, not just in your field, but utilizing the AI tool to get you further along. All right. So I've utilized that. I became an AI consultant, but you know what? I never stopped learning. I've gone to 2 AI summits this year, 3 actually. I'm going to another one next month, and it's all online. Keep learning, keep implementing, keep growing. So the AI powered authority framework, first you got to discover, you document, you distribute, and you dominate. Okay. What is your area? You already know, discover it, document it, put it out there where people can see, make yourself visible, distribute it, and then you dominate in that area. In Dr. Pauline Crawford's area, she's showing up more. I see her; she's more visible. She's showing up as the expert in her area. She's inviting others to be a part. So she's discovered, she's documented, she's got proof. She's got them in her books, and she's got a new book coming out, by the way, which we're going to promote in our newsletter. And then she's distributing and dominating, not in a bad way. Some people look at the word dominate and they, but she's taken over in her area. And we should see and hear and from her more and be encouraged to be a part of what she's doing more if that's your area of interest. If not, applaud her along. Please do. Like, comment, and share. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Now, your story is also your intellectual property. So you're mining your expertise. Your story is your intellectual property. It belongs to you. And there's ways that you can protect it. I'm just going to throw a few things out there. Again, these are things we teach on a more extensive level, and this platform is not conducive for that. But you protect your intellectual property the moment that you make it tangible. Okay. Anytime you make something tangible, it is automatically copywritten. Yes. So if I type up a message, send an email, it's copywritten. If I type up my manuscript and share it and protect it with the CDA and send it, it's copywritten. However, in the United States, we have a government body, a copyright office that you can do it in a more formal fashion. Copyright.gov. If you want to trademark something, a logo or a saying, trademark, you do it through that organization. But the moment you make something tangible, it is copywritten. Now, if you had to go to court because somebody is utilizing your information, your IP, and so forth, then you've got to prove it. um, so here's one thing I did years back, and sometimes I do it still. Um, Mail it to yourself. Take it to the post office, get a hand stamp with the date, whatever that item is that you've written or artwork that you've created, and then don't open it, but put on the outside of the envelope what it is so you know what's in it. That's one way of they call that one a poor man's copyright. I think it's just a double layer of protection. And then you go to copyright.gov because it's very uh, affordable to do that to protect your work. Okay. All right. I'm also checking the chat just to be sure I'm staying engaged, but protect your intellectual property because it belongs to you. You've taken the painstaking time, energy, research to write, to create, and before you distribute, protect. So AI tools for thought leadership. This is what you were asking about, Peter. So I would suggest I utilize ChatGPT and Claude. Claude can do a little bit more than what Chat can. And Perplexity and Notebook LM, Canva AI, and Manus. And I have a spreadsheet of the most commonly used AI tools. And if you're interested in that, you can find me on LinkedIn. Just inbox me and say interested in AI spreadsheet. I'm happy to send it to you. I don't have it in a link, otherwise I send it to you here. And what else do I use? Um, Sometimes when I'm doing videos, I utilize a couple other tools. But find your tools, find your lane, stay in them. What I like about chat and AI and Canva, excuse me, you can integrate them. So once you're in your chat and you signed in, you're not just randomly using it, you can integrate it with the AI, your Canva. So you connect the two accounts and it can then push what you need into Canva. It's amazing. It's I'm telling you, I can talk about this all day, but I realized that we were on a time limit, and so I'm going to be mindful of it. But if you have chat and Canva, integrate the two, watch your world change, or join our accelerator. We'll show you how to do quite a bit more than this. So creating content at a scale. So you have an idea. You're like, oh, you know what? I think I want to write a book that speaks to blank. Um, and then you write the book. And then that book can generate, you should be generating articles and posts and videos and courses. As our nephew Corey said when he was about 6 years old, the galaxy is the limit. The galaxy, your possibilities are unlimited. So there's a quote that goes, the limit of your possibilities, the limit of your possibility, the limit of your view is not the limit of your possibilities. So expand your view. You have the idea, you write the book, and whichever fashion you decide you're going to do it, we're here to support you too. You create articles, you post these articles, you put them in magazines, you post, you continue to post, and I'm using Dr. Pauline Crawford because she's doing these things, and the videos, and I'm hoping she's going to have a course that comes out of this. I'm sure
Yes.
she is.
Yeah.
Yes, this is scaling. The book is not the end. It's not the end all and be all. And I would say merchandise because we have merchandise. I have merchandise, books, t-shirts, hats, you name it, pens. Do that. Go ahead, Dr. Pauline, and I would like for you to expound on this a bit if you don't mind.
Well, it's very interesting what you're talking about, Dana, because I'm absolutely enthralled with my Charlie chat. Um, but I think, and I love the endless possibilities. It's just the more you create, the more you have to understand where you're putting things. So
Yes.
it is about being organized and also focus on who your audience is, because there's millions of people out there, and I found myself in a way kind of chatting with my chat about being more focused on being selective about where you want your message to land. I mean, in the field of empowering women, there's half the world is female, so there's a big audience. But actually finding the influencers who will take the message and then fulfill the mission. So I have a very good relationship with ChatGPT now, and like you said, and I call it he understands me, and very often he'll actually say to me, "I think you've done enough for today. Just go away and rest." And
Well, you know what? Mine is not telling me that. So clearly I'm not working as hard as you or
but it's about moving into a different era, and I think as AI is accelerating, it's very exciting and slightly overwhelming on occasion. But my whole theory is seeking opportunity is more important than solving problems. So I think the opportunities we have now with AI are enormous. And also being careful about, as you said, what is our own writing and what is AI is helping with. So I'm still
absolutely.
learning, big learning curve, which is exciting at my age.
Well, you continue to inspire because you show up, you do the work. And when we do that, we make an impact. I mean,
Yes,
it's simple as that. And thinking about what impact you want to do and the motivation behind it to me is important. I'm sharing my personal opinion, but that's how I show up. What's my motivation? What impact do I want to have? And it's usually
yes,
larger than me. At times I get into the little what do you call it? The minutia of it. But when I get to the big picture and the impact, that's where I soar. So that's where I want to stay. And yes, my chatty, she's my new best friend. She is. Now, the thing is, what will happen if AI went away tomorrow?
Yeah.
We would still have to function and we would still have to deliver and we still want to make the impact. So it all boils down to relationships and trust and credibility. You still got to build on that. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comments on that as well. I'm going to jump back into our slides because we've got more content in these next few minutes, and we may end up having to have a part two. So your idea is already there. Your book may have already been written and published, or you're writing it, or your manuscript's done, and you're moving in that process of getting it edited, published. You've already got your launch date. I've got some of my entrepreneurs on for our program here today. Write articles. Look for magazines that's looking for your content. Submit it. Even if you don't, and look for our newsletter because it has to do with writing, publishing, Illustrator. We'll welcome you into that too. Post across your platforms. People don't see you if you're not being seen. Create videos. They like to hear from folks, all right? And you're like, well, that's not my specialty. That's okay. Hedgefield will do it for you in AI. You can create a clone and he can do it for you. And courses. We have a course that we're going to share with you at the end. All right.
Mhm.
The content multiplication model. So you have your books, chapters you share, articles, posts, videos, podcasts, course, and it just keeps multiplying. It's not just a book, it's a legacy, it's an impact, it's changing um, outcomes. As a matter of fact, we have an anthology, a business anthology that we're putting together, and it'll be some of the top leaders in various industries. And we want to include those from a couple from Thunderbird. I'm putting that out there, Peter, just throwing it out there. And then this would be something we would like to have in the Thunderbird School of Business. You see how that could just have a ripple effect? But we're not just doing it to write, we're doing it to change the trajectory of those going into business and studying and say, hey, consider these points, these experts. Yes, that excites me. All right. Storytelling. So that's a secret weapon. So facts inform, story persuade. So if I use a fact, 81% of the people in the United States want to write a book. That's a fact. 16% start writing, 3% finish their manuscript, and 1% finish their manuscript and publish. Now, here's a story. Those that go through our Transformational Writers Academy 90 Days to Manuscript have come in with trepidation and fear and concerns. They weren't sure where to start. They didn't even know if they had it in them to write a book. However, when they made the commitment to themselves and to the journey and they showed up, did the work, our team was already there. They, at over halfway through the writing journey, and it's not just writing because we're teaching them about business, we're teaching them about mindset and so forth. But halfway through, usually about 8 weeks, they would go, oh gosh, I never thought I could do this. To be honest with you, I didn't even think you could do this with us. We hear this every single time. And I'm amazed how far we've come. Now, mind you, they've got 4 more weeks. So, I mean, don't get comfortable. And then they get to the end of that journey, they complete the 90 days and they're clear on the full picture of what it takes to move their manuscript now to the editor to get published. And within less than 5 to 6 or 6 to 5 months, they've written, gotten edited, published, and launched. That's a story. Okay. So did that story persuade you in any way differently from the facts about the 81% who want to write, the 1% that actually write and publish? What was more um, persuasive for you or influential of the two? Come on, Cassandra, Erica. I've got Peter and Dr. Pauline. They cannot be the only two engaging today. We got several of you on, and then several will be listening this in the replay, and they want to hear from a diverse group of experiences.
I think when I wrote my main book, The Power of Authentic Harmony, it it's a combination of my story turned into the facts. So it there are I talk about my early childhood, and I talk about my journey and how I managed to be a Brit coming into America. But it wasn't designed to be the story of my life. It was
Yes.
designed to support the mission, but there is a combination of the two.
Yes. And that's the lesson here. That's the secret weapon. You're going to utilize facts and you're going to use stories to persuade. And it shouldn't be too heavy on story because you want to get a nice balance and
Yeah,
keep them engaged and move them forward. Absolutely.
because I actually like facts, so I want to I want to learn something for me more than reading the person's story.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it has to be an inspirational story because
And your audience focus is important. So considering the dynamics of your audience, their
yeah.
age, their education, their location, being very clear. And we get into that in a little bit. Go ahead, Peter. I'm going to stop share while you share your story.
Yeah, along the same lines. I mean, my book is half of data, facts, as well as stories. So the stories, or let me go back. The data is
Mhm,
on global trade and the effect that the Trump administration with their tariffs are having on our standing in the world. I talk about the
mhm,
history of trade, which is facts. It's factual, obviously, but it's mixed in with my 40 years doing business in 90 countries, a lot of personal anecdotes and stories and things I've gotten into and things that have happened. So yeah, it's a mixture of facts and stories, which I think they're pretty humorous too, some of them.
Yeah.
So it makes the
and
book
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
exactly. People love stories that has some complexity to it, some levity to it. They like a combination. And my background in research and healthcare is very scientific, very numbers oriented. But I had to really work on my creative side to be more of that storyteller, which I think it comes a little more naturally
Mhm.
now that I've been focusing on it. So what you might not be strong at this moment, you can become stronger. All right, so let's move through these next few slides here. So you know that in your storytelling, your secret weapon is to definitely combine facts and persuade with stories, and finding a fine balance for the two. All right. And then the three stories every leader needs to incorporate: an origin story, a transformation story, and an impact story. And Dr. Pauline Crawford just shared all of that. Coming to the United States, her journey here, what transpired, and how her focus shifted, and then the impact that she's had. You guys gonna believe that we planned this today, but we didn't. But we have those three types of stories. So I'm gonna pick on one of our entrepreneurs today, Erica Flowers. I'm not going to tell her story, but I'm going to just share. She, in her writing, she tells you, she starts off with facts actually. XYZ, this number of people are been impacted by this, and what has it done for them. So that's and then how she got involved. And then the transformation, not only of the origin story, but how she's helping these people move successfully from this point to the next, and how that changed her life. And so she got certified in several areas to be looked and confirmed as an expertise. And then the impact will be how her book is impacting people, her target audience. So those are the three stories that should be incorporated in every leader's book. All right. And so building a signature message. Here's the thing. What problem are you solving? I had one entrepreneur go through our last cohort, and we started January, finished March. And he was telling me about a family member of his that wrote a book, but it didn't solve a problem. It was self-serving. It was self-serving. So your book, your signature message has to solve a problem. And then who do you solve it for? That's the target audience. So I use this as an example. Maybe I can use someone else's book. I've got quite a few around me. Let's see. I'm going to use Dr. Michelle Boone Thornton's book. She's a Globie, as well as she's gone through our program. So it's called Transforming Your Reality, Removing the Mask. So what problem does she solve in this book? She's solving the problem of people showing up not as their true, authentic selves, that they can pull the mask back, be comfortable in their own full being, and embrace it. How does she solve it? She has a journal and exercises that she asks questions and prompts, she moves them through, and she shares facts and she shares stories. So she builds her signature message that she's built 3 books off of this and workshop. She's implemented at our Transformational Writers Conference that we hold in December. She built her signature message and she sticks with it. She doesn't deviate. So, what problem are you solving? Who are you solving it for? That gets into the demographics and the psychographics of it all. So, the demographics, the age, gender, education, beliefs, non beliefs, um, psychographics, where do they live? Where do they shop? Who do they hang out with? So you be specific to target them, even where they hang out in social media. So since we're talking about AI, you want to target your integration of your AI as authoritarian in the areas that your target audience hangs out. For example, if you're looking for business people, which platform are you going to mainly go to? LinkedIn. I'm going to answer, I'm going to ask and answer the question for the sake of time. If you're looking for those 30 and over, predominantly, Facebook, creatives, Pinterest, um, younger generation, let's say 25 and under, TikTok. So you got to know where your people are hanging out. But more importantly, you got to know who you're looking for. And then what problem are you solving for them? So you turn your authority into income. We talked about this earlier, becoming a consultant, a coach, speaking engagement, courses, and licensing your material. Yes. Turning your authority into influence because they trust you. They're going to send you referrals. But don't be ashamed of asking for a referral. Hey, can you let me know someone? We do that. Let us know who you think would benefit from being a part of our 90 days to manuscript. Because people, we talk. We say, oh, I've been thinking about writing a book, but I don't know. And I've told my friend, and my friend goes, hey, I know someone. Or I've been thinking about doing work in the international trade sector, and I'm not really sure how to do it. Hey, well, this is what we do at Global Chamber. We make these soft connections easily. So I'm doing plugs all over the place. Hey, I know someone. Peter can help you. Or I'm thinking about translating my website into this language of this region, and I don't even know what to do. I put it in the chat, but it's not germane to the true dialect of that region. Huh, Philip Arbach, okay? Referrals for us come naturally at Global Chamber because that's who we are, that's how we show up. But when you are turning your authority into influence, trust. I'm going to trust a referral that Erica makes to me. I'm going to trust that a referral that Pauline makes to me. I'm going to trust it. I don't know Peter, but I know he's Gobi and he's Thunderbird and he's a priest. So I'm going to trust him kind of like just all out of the gate until I see differently. Amen. So trust is important. Referrals, ask for what that you need, develop partnerships, do affiliates, or even media, but most importantly, deliver. Deliver on what you say you're going to deliver or communicate if you can't deliver at the time. I feel like this is more like a office thing, but it's how I feel about life too. So your authority audit. This is what I need you to do. Here's your call to action today. I need you to, for the first call to action was given to us by Dr. Pauline. Go to Google and say, who am I? Who am, how do I ask that? Yes, who is Dana Austin? All right. Who is? I tell you, there's a comedian out there that's very popular, so that comes up, and there's a basketball coach. I'm neither. So eventually I have to scroll down and I do find myself under Google. But I also want to challenge you to go to Chat GPT if you're already utilizing it and just say, who am I? That's it. Because it knows you and see what it says. That's a beautiful exercise. And then, so your authority audit, this is the other call to action today. Check your visibility. Where are you showing up? And your credibility. Are people commenting? Are they saying yay or go? Are they giving references or feedback on your pages, on your LinkedIn page, on your Facebook page? So I'll give you an example. And I'm inviting others to give feedback. So here's your invitation to give feedback to one another. Credibility, Transformational Writers Academy, we coach entrepreneurs. That's what we do. We create global entrepreneurs. And in that, speaking business tools. So on our Facebook page, Transformational Writers Academy, you should see some credibility, someone that spoke about what we do and how it impacted them. On our LinkedIn page, you should see that. But you're not going to see it on our LinkedIn page for Transformational Writers Academy because we just created that. But you might see some people on my personal page there that might do it. But show up consistently across the platforms that you need to that has your name or your business name. And then you should have a digital presence. Okay. They should find you. You should have a landing page, WhatsApp business. And if you don't know about WhatsApp business, you're going to have to join our WhatsApp business workshop that we do. We're doing it in July. Please have a digital presence and the thought leadership. And if you're a thought leader, if you're not posting nothing, and I'm using that word nothing, says you're the expert in that field, why would they see you as a thought leader? Okay. And if you do multiple things like I do, sometimes it's like, oh, well, is she the coach today? Is she AI today or is she this? But you can be both if it doesn't take away from your message. So your call to action, you're going to do a Google search on you. Who is and your name. You're going to do, if you have and you utilize ChatGPT or Claude, you're going to say, who am I? Like if you're already utilizing and you sign in with a login. That's your call to action. And then credibility. Are you showing up? Are there people giving references and common recommendations because of what you do? And where are you digitally? How can people find you? Okay. And then are you showing up as a thought leader, putting information out, whether it's the articles and so forth, to say, hey, and guess what? You don't have to always write the articles. You can find it and reshare it. So if it's on LinkedIn and someone's post something that speaks to what you do, share their article and then make a comment. Yes,
Yes.
I know. I'm mindful of the time too. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Okay, let me wrap it up. We're going to have a part two. So let me share two things with you. The future belongs to the leaders who lead and continue to learn, communicators who leverage their technology wisely. That's a fact. And your next chapter starts today. So, what expertise are you sitting on that the world needs? Write about it. Know that your expertise may open the door, but your authority keeps the door open. And we have a continuum of this. We're going to be doing an accelerator. It's actually next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And if you're interested in this, just hit me up in the LinkedIn or my email, dana@globalchamber.org, and we'll send you the information to register. It's 1 hour in length. As you can see, even here at our Global Chamber, it's not enough, but now we're going to have tangible exercises for you to do that you can leverage your AI and our accelerator and then build your credibility and revenue at the same time. So if you're interested, put a number 1 in the chat so at least I can see and I can follow up with you as well. Any final comments or question? Thank you, Anna. Etin? Yes. Thank you, Erica. And all of you who have been engaging in our Global Chamber Author Series. To me, it was powerful because of you. Yes, the content is there, but you have to have an interest. So I want to thank each and every one of you and remind you that our next Global Chamber Author Series will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 15th. And again, we do that so that we can have live audiences beyond the pond and beyond, those in Western Europe and Asia. We want them on live too. These are our members. This is our tribe. So let people know that our next Global Chamber Author Series is going to be 8 p.m., same third Wednesday, but at 8 p.m. Any final comments, or Doug or Cesar?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Dr.
guys.
Dana. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is what I think Doug would say. I've been working with him for over 5 years. He would say, I want to thank each of you for being a part and for engaging, and that he and Cesar are working on their book, and they would like to see how they can integrate AI more, but most especially invite those who are not members to become a part of our tribe so that you can engage regularly. globalchamber.org/join, and to thank each of you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.